Okay, so a little bit more about the speakers. The thing is, I'm fortunate enough to know who all the speakers are. They don't even know who each other are, and it's kind of fun when they all meet each other and they're like, I see now why. And that's the fun part for me. The other thing is, not one speaker this evening, or to my best recollection, any speaker since I've been emceeing, has been recommended only by me. Up next is our most recommended speaker ever. I'd like to invite Kim Schlau up here to join us next. No pressure.
Thanks. My first ILEETA conference was in 2012. This is when it was still up in the Chicago area. I was just a guest speaker. My first full ILEETA conference was 2015. And I got to experience a lot of the fun of ILEETA, such as the bagpipes, the candied bourbon, or candied bacon, candied bourbon after you have the candied bacon and the bourbon, the wall of bourbon at Spears, the Schnitzengruben and the beer at Hofbrauhaus, and the infamous Munich bar that's missing a gnome. I don't know anything about that. And that was all on Sunday. So on Monday, we go out to dinner, and as we're coming back, we're making dinner plans, and I said, so what are we going to do for dinner tonight? And my group said, we have to be back by 7 for the Emerson Hour. So I'm thinking, oh, cool, a happy hour that's sponsored by Emerson Electric. Imagine my surprise when I walk in and see Brian Willis standing in front of this thing, and I'm like, oh, for the love. So I kind of mentally facepalm myself, and I'm glad that I didn't really tell anyone at that time what I had thought erroneously. Emerson actually has a quote about this, and it is, one of the joys of having old friendships is that you can afford to be stupid in front of them. In preparing for tonight, I came across another quote from Emerson. The purpose of life is not to be happy. The purpose of life is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have lived your life, to make a difference, and to have lived well. Up until November 23rd, 2007, I thought I was doing okay. I had a great job. I had a little house with, my nice little car in front of it. I was getting out of a difficult marriage, and I also had 3 beautiful, amazing, wonderful, fabulous daughters that I loved so very much. It was not all blissful. We did fight because, we're all girls. We drove one another crazy, but we loved one another so very much. It wasn't perfect, but it was ours. We were this little gang of 4 independent, kick-ass women. And that all changed on November 23rd, 2007, when an Illinois State police officer, responding to a low priority call at a high rate of speed, while distracted by his cell phone and his onboard computer, lost control of his car, crossed the median, and crashed into my daughter's car, killing her, Kelly, and her sister, Jessica. Now my family had been immediately cut in half. Now it was just Maddie and me. Life is the most beautiful chaos that you will ever experience. While you are going about your business, living your life, you are blissfully unaware that there is a chain reaction of events that's happening over here that is about to catch up with you. My happy had gone. Happy had left the building. Happy had been replaced with shock, with grief, with disbelief, with anger, with confusion, with depression. Being a parent is facing fears you never knew existed and finding strengths you never had. I not only had to find that strength for myself, I had to find it for Madeline. My worst fear had happened. Now I had to figure out how I was going to move on. And I had to not be strong just for me, I had to do it for Madeline. I had to be there for her. I was raised, you don't cry in public. I didn't cry during their 8-hour funeral visitation. I didn't cry during their funerals. Because I knew if I started, I wasn't going to stop. But if I was alone or if Madeline was in bed, oh, hell yes, I cried. I cried so hard that it's just so gut-wrenching, that pain, that visceral, just feeling all of that pressure coming out, and you're sobbing, and you hit the floor, and you're still crying, and you feel like there should be somewhere else for you to fall, and you can't, and you just lay there until the anger kicks in. And the anger comes, and the anger starts to throw up in your throat, and it closes everything off, and you see red, and all you want to do is hit something or punch something or throw something, anything to release this pressure. But what example was I setting for Maddie? Was I telling her that it was not okay to cry, that it was not okay to have those emotions? We needed to talk about them. We needed to remember them. We needed to laugh about them. We needed to remember those good times and those bad times as well. We also had to give ourselves the grace and space to grieve and heal. Inevitably, we're going to have setbacks. It happens. I have bad days. Ask my husband. He will tell you. Sometimes we cannot find that strength. We are in such turmoil in that moment that we don't have the capacity to see past that pain. We are in such a deep, dark, black pit that we can't see our way out of it. But being able to have that time to heal, find the strength to heal, find the strength to go on, it helps you heal. And so little by little, day by day, week by week, year by year, sometimes minute by minute, Maddie and I found that happy again. We didn't get here alone. Many fine medical professionals, therapists, and pharmaceuticals are to be thanked for the progress that we have made. But again, when we have those inevitable setbacks, we can look back and say, look how far we've come. And yes, we can have a bad day. It's okay to have a bad day. But don't live there. As one of my mentors says, yeah, we're all gonna have bad days. It's just your weather. Don't make it your climate. Keep going. So we kept going. A lot of our healing also has to do with a lot of you in here. We were so lucky to have the amazing support of family and friends, so many of whom we now call our family as well. I guess Emerson really wasn't saying we shouldn't be happy. I think he was telling us how to cultivate happiness. So through those little thoughts, words, deeds, and actions, when we choose to make those happy decisions, we make ourselves happy. So I chose to rebuild my life from a position of good, to take my experience and make it have a difference. Help someone else if they're going through grief. Help someone else realize they ought not to be driving like that. Show the world that Maddie and I, we can do this. We can stand up and we can keep going. Thank you all so very much for the support that you have shown to Maddie and I. We really do appreciate it and love all of you so very much. In conclusion, we want to say, we choose to be happy. We choose to give back to the world more than we take from it. Thank you all.
No, you can't. It always is. It's the fastest.
That was the fastest 9 minutes. I looked over and I'm like, oh, I thought it was going, I had like 6 minutes, and then I saw 5 and I went, oh shoot, it's going the other way. So.
We chose to live in the moment, and you did.
I did.
Yeah. So same question for you that I've asked a couple of the others. As far as what are you consuming? As far as information, where are you getting your drive from? What motivates you?
What motivates me? Where do I get my drive? I'm not going to answer the reading question because I read for fun, so it's just going to be trashy fiction. But if you want recommendations, okay. If you want recommendations, I'm happy to give them to you. I love doing the research. I have a new class. Oh, I'm not supposed to talk about that.
You can talk about your class, just this wasn't supposed to be a pitch for it.
No, I'm not pitching. So I did a new class. It's Wednesday at 1 o'clock. And give the girl a microphone, and this is what happens. Yeah. Right? Sorry. No, I was researching for my new class, and I was going down rabbit holes and learning everything. But I always think that we need to continue and grow and learn. And no matter where we are in our lives, we can always learn more and do more.
Thank you. Sorry. One more round of applause, please.